Okay, toy fans. So I'm here. This is the Lumibricks Midnigt Haunted Mansion. Now, I just got done. I built this set over 3 sessions on TikTok. And a little bit longer. I've probably put in a good 12 hours into this build. So this is it's a build. It's a huge build. It's 2,617 pieces. It suggested 60 and up. There's a lot of incredible things in this. There's a few areas where I felt like, we could have had a few changes here and there. Few parts of the build which are kind of weak, but overall, this thing is massive. It's probably the biggest set that I have to date, and it's incredible. It's a nice set. So let me go ahead because I could not get this on the I couldn't get it on the cam because it's so big. I'm gonna show you up here on this. So this is the Lumibricks Midnigt Haunted Mansion uh, 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 box, right? And so it's Midnigt Haunted Mansion. This is part of what they call the X series. Now the X series is like it's got like one thing. So I think this and there's like a it's not the Aurora cabin. What is it? It's the stargazing, the telescope thing that they have. It's also an X series. So they're like the biggest sets available, right? And they're not themed, though. I would love to see them do more of midnight, like maybe even put on a theme of midnight haunted and then change up whatever the name is. But I'd like to see more of this, honestly, because I like this. And there's some cool areas in it, especially being a Ghostbuster cosplay. There's some things in this that I would love, love, love to see some small sets of that could go and fit up with this mansion. So, this is the box. You've got on the sides, you've got all this like beautiful pictures of different place scenes. You got the Delight Day and Night instead of Fun Hole, though it is Lumibricks, so it's actually their brand. And then you've got legalese stuff on the back. Up here, you do have a backward shot of the set. You got a forward shot of the set. You do get 3 minifigures with this. 3 minifigures, and of course you have a vehicle, 3 minifigs, and then the entire playset. Now, I'm gonna go overhead here because you do get these 2 books. I'm gonna kind of hold them up. You've got book. That's book 2. You got book 1 right here. Let me see if I can adjust that just a little bit more. Bring it over here. So you've got these really big books. Now this is a little bit bigger than like a graphic novel, to be quite honest. So it's huge. There's a lot in here, and you've got the whole story aspect. So it says Mark was a successful real estate agent, but now he's hit rock bottom. Business has failed. Life is falling apart. One day he stumbles upon a mysterious old mansion listed at a suspiciously low price. He buys it without hesitation, unaware that the real nightmare is about to begin. And we'll talk about that. We'll break in and kind of talk about all the things that they have. But you got a shaking floor, a spinning sofa, ghost behind a cabinet, a toilet glowing green, and there's so much more. So you got light kits, and this thing does come with a battery box. It's a USB powered battery box. And you've got multiple stages on this. Actually, it ends on one and picks up on the other. And the first book is actually just this all the way up to here. And then the second book is all the rest. So there's quite a bit to this set. It is ginormous. It is such a big set. It is one of those sets that I was very, very surprised at what all we get, because there's a ton here. Okay, so in this set we do of course have a ghost. We've got other ghostly features in here. That's a ghost on the outside. It's really not that much. What you got, gravestones and trees and scary decor. Oh my, there's so much here. I'm gonna see if I can adjust this light just a little bit, get that up and going right there. Now, one of the keys I started with this vehicle, which was the not Ghostbuster vehicle, right? Okay, so you got the 3-wheeled vehicle. This is the last thing you build in the actual thing. I ended up building mine first. I took out the last bag, built it first, did all step 15, and then built the mansion just because I wanted something to play with. But you do have these Ghostbuster-esque minifigs. So let's see if I can get us zoomed in on that. Let me get our other cam up here, and we're gonna This is ridiculous. Go to this one. There we go. And we'll fade there. Yeah. So you do have the minifigure. She's got like the little ghost emblem on her. She's got overalls. And there's distinction between the two bodies because one has like the necklace on. The other one, the gentleman. Let's pull out the... So to get him out of the car, you actually have to take him out like this. And then you have to put the car back together. And we'll do that for the sake of this to look at everything, and then we'll kind of move on. They use a lot of skis for antennas and spires, which I actually like. So you get your wrench and your Ghostbuster emblem. You got kind of a Vakeman-esque, but a bearded Vakeman-esque sort of look here. And there's printing, of course, on the back, which is really cool. You got one more minifig. He's actually inside. We'll look at him when we get to it. So you got your two minifigs, and then you have your vehicle here. Now, the cool thing is it's got this call JL5 2020. This is actually on my car because it's a part of Ghostbusters 2. You've got the not Sony licensed Moogly here, but it's a nice ghost. I actually want to get that made into a patch. I'd love to have a yellow jumper Lumibricks Ghostbuster uniform. I'm sure if I did that, my chapter leader's gonna be like, nope, and nope, don't do it. You have way too many costumes outside of the realm of Ghostbusters. Now you're trying to add bricks to it. Come on now. But yeah, so this is a cool vehicle. You've got some cool gauges and stuff inside. You know, it's not bad. It's three-wheeled. It's simple. You do have to take the top off to get the figures in. That's something to keep in mind. And honestly, it's got that Florida plate. I would have honestly wish it didn't have a plate on it at all. It'd have been New York or Texas. Florida, I don't know. We could have had something different, and we didn't get that. All right, with this, you do, of course, have opening doors. You have opening doors and more opening doors. Oh, my. Staircases. You got, all this in the back. Now, the back is pretty plain. That's on purpose. And, of course, you got more stuff over here. But what we're going to do is we're going to come back here. We're going to turn this on. We're going to get some lights going. We're going to turn around and we're going to take a look at some of the beauty of this set. Now, you've got, of course, pulsating light over here. You've got lights inside. You got lights inside. You got two lights. You have a fireplace and a lamp. You've got a light down here with the, let's see if we can pull it up. You got a TV in there. You've got flashing toilet. You've got dungeon lights down the bottom. So this thing is packed full the gill with lights, which is pretty cool, including one more light upstairs that we'll take a look at here in a minute. You got lots of cool things. You got a bathroom light in here. You got a bathroom or a light in the other room. You even have an access here that if you need to get in here and do something, you can. Everything is routed down with this little tray here, and that tray has got USB stuff and your router on there. Because again, you're wiring all this up. You're putting this all together on your own. Let's open this thing up and take a look. So, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to see if I can do it this time without causing an issue. When I was doing live, I had a problem. There we go. We're going to open this up here. And then we're going to open up the bottom. Now, keep in mind these windows, they do open. So, that's something to keep in mind. You got all this additional play value. Going to open these up, and it's like a dollhouse, right? You can kind of go in, see what's there, get what you need, etc. This even comes off right over there. Now, the cool thing about this is that each floor has something. So, what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking this off. We're going to set it over here. We're going to then take this off. Let's see if I can do this the right way. Earlier, I had an issue where it was wanting to stick. Yeah, it's doing it again. Oh, yep, there we go. All right, so there we go. So these do, the bricks have this bit of a challenging thing. I don't know why it happens with some sets. It's one of those where they had talked about they were going to fix this problem, but sometimes these plates, they will stud up here at first, and you got this holding wires down, because this is what the connection's made. Sometimes these particular studs from the base plate get stuck and do a better job of holding than the studs on top, which can be problematic. Very problematic. Okay, so look, we're going to lift this up here. We're going to kind of look down into it. So, with the base floor set, of course, you've got an opening door over here. You've got all this detail in here as far as like the printing. You've got an actual like mirror over here. You've got printed cheeses, things like that are just falling apart. You know, you've got all this wonderful stuff. I think that goes over and plugs over on something. And then here, if you open this up, you've got a ghost. Woo! And it's hiding over in this cabinet. So they got this area here under the stairs has been built out with a light. And you've got a cool ghost here. Over here, you've got, of course, a possessed TV that changes colors. And here's your homeowner. So this guy, real estate man, he's got this scared look on his face. He doesn't have any other looks. So it's not like a head that you can turn around. But you've got this turn feature here that moves the chair around. So kind of a Dana Barrett's type chair. And you've got him on these dancing boards. He is not having a good time at all. He's like, why, Lord, why did I choose to do this? Out of all the houses, I chose this one. That's not good. Now with this, there is some storytelling elements to it. Of course, we got a haunted house over here. Pretty cool. That might come into play here in a minute. And then you've got almost this Vecna style clock that's got some slash marks on it. And it actually has stopped at, I think it was 3:33. So something to keep in mind. Little nods to things in there. If you open that up, you've got a spot behind the grandfather clock that takes you to a secret stairway. Now, in order to get up to the top floor in the house as a natural, you got to go out the front door and go out the side over here. And that's how you get into the house. A little awkward. Normally people put stairs inside their house. This one is not the exception. This one's a little bit different. It happens. I don't know why, but it happens. I think that it'd have been nice to kind of tile this floor right here. This part of the floor is studded. There's nothing stating about what to put in there. I mean, I might even look to see if I have extra tiles. That could have been easily put in some boards there. Something to make it look a little more finished. That part seems just a tad bit unfinished. But that's it. That's all I can say about that. That one's not, it's not too big of an ordeal for me. It's not a deal breaker. It's just one of those things I noticed. Just saying. Just saying. All right, I'm going to put this on over here. I can't remember if this is where that fits in. But we've got, of course, our little bricks here that kind of tie things down. So, as you put the next floor on, and we'll kind of do like this. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me raise you up a little bit more, and we'll look down on it as we go. So we'll open up this, and as we set our floor, press it in. You know it's working when all the lights go off. Now, of course, you got the door here that goes to the stairs. The stairs allow you to go into the front or to the side over here. You've got a fireplace that's glowing green, monster screen. You've got this really cool artwork here of a magic ball, which the magic ball comes into play here in a minute because we'll also have that upstairs. We've got, of course, a crib. We got some toys on the floor. We got this dreadful looking bear. Oh, look at that dreadful looking bear. Isn't that awful? He's missing an eye. He's all cut up. Got an old rotary phone, some pillows that are all dashed up. We got a nice family portrait of a dad holding the bear, by the way. The mom and the daughter. And then I'm just going to kind of bring you over here to this. And on the wall over here, see, make sure there's nothing on that. On the wall over here, you have another picture of the daughter holding the bear. So right now, it's almost like they're storytelling. They're telling us about maybe these awful things that happened in this house. Ooh. Okay, of course, you've got, the bathroom over here. You got a door that leads into the bathroom. You got a rug there that's got some stains on it. And you're like, hey, this is great. But how in the world do I play this? Secret passage goes all the way up. But I don't have any other options. I'm going to check something real quick. There we go. I got this weird sort of thing over here. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, it's what is. It's what it is. It bothers me, but we're gonna move on. What you do is you slide this open. Of course, you got some printed mirror tiles here. You've got a towel that's printed. You've got a hinge part of the wall over here. You've got all this mud and track in there, and that is incredibly, incredibly cool. You got the flashing toilet. Now, there's some things with this toilet, like that is not a very solid part of the build. I remember when I put it together, I was excited. I was like, hey, this could be really cool. But that toilet just keeps falling. So that is one thing I don't like. However, the bathtub, solid build. So we got really good things with the sink and the bathtub. The toilet, at least some build needs, some hardcore build needs, in my opinion, if I could say so. Seriously, if I could say so. I think it's one of those. It's like I would love to have seen something just a little bit better, just a little bit better. It's good, but it's just not the best thing. So at least you have the floor open like this, and I mean, keep in mind there's a lot of play value here. There's a lot of space here. The way it cuts in, you got the roof and everything. This is really cool. And when you're done, you just take this, roll it in like that, and then that would fold down and click on the top. Or as a matter of fact, we're going to close this down. Oh, let's see if I can pop that up, put that in, and this goes, and it has a peg over here that pegs into the wall, keeps that from going anywhere. It's pretty good. Now, so far, we're like, hey, that's quite a bit. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go back real quick. And I'm not sure what's going on with this camera. But we're going to wipe that lens. Somehow, some way, somehow, there's a problem with it. And I'm not sure if it's any better. But you know what? We'll take it. We'll take it at this point. Okay. And then the very last floor is this one. Now, for this floor, actually, it has a few guides here that's going to guide it into place. If we can get it right. Yeah, we can get it right. And then once you press it down, you know it's pressed down because that camera, or not the camera, the little candle turns on. Now, it's really hard to see in there right now because it's a dark room. So we're going to pop that panel out so we have a little bit more light. And take a look at this. This is incredibly cool. So you've got a this is basically a seance room, right? So you've got this forbidden book of magic. You've got a hectogram. You've got a pumpkin with a candle on it. You've got some sort of weird ornate thing. Now, this has been where a lot of people have had some arguments about this set. And I want to go ahead and state it right now. Overall, I like the set. I think the set's great. This doesn't bother me. As a Christian, this doesn't really bother me at all. As a Christian, more of the stuff going down in the bedroom with the bear, the child, whatever storytelling is going on there, that kind of bothers me. The fact this is a seance room, I mean, it's one of those, it's like, it's not a very, like, Christian sort of thing. I mean, I'll go ahead and say that, going out the way, but it's not what a lot of people were saying. So a lot of people were jumping up in arms immediately saying there's a pentagram on the floor. It's got this. So a pentagram is actually an inverted 5-pointed star with a circle around it. This is not that. So this is not that area of that satanic part of nature. Is it wrong? Yeah. Does it follow on the lines of probably more of the Solomonic magic and looking at the lesser keys of Solomon or the greater keys of Solomon? Yeah. This is more like Solomonic magic, okay? So what you think of as archaic magic. And you have to remember, there's a whole history of soothsayers and people that do this stuff. Now, this kind of falls on that because you've got some really cool like emblem stuff here where you've got, let's see if I can lift that up just a little bit, get a little bit more light in. It's kind of hard to see, but you've got a tile here that's got a printed, you know, whatever that super star thing is. It's all mathematical Enochian type things. You've got the hexagram. It does have a knife in it. It's got a rose, 3 crystals, and a globe. So it does come with the globe that we saw down in the picture down in the bottom of the bedroom. That also feels like it ties back to the Old West because we have a Madam what's her name, and I believe the chains and the fortune telling stuff is pretty much the exact same. So I'm kind of wondering if this does have a tie across the worlds here between the Old West and this Midnigt Haunted Mansion. Now the part that I broke off was this book. It says Forbidden Power, and it has, of course, that symbolic, lesser keys sort of eye and stuff on it. Open up, says, don't open. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you're thinking, don't do what you are thinking you want to do. It's not a good call. And of course, you could take that book. I would almost take it and like open it up just a little bit, set it out kind of like that, like it's kind of up on its end. And then we've got this cool specter here, and we got this cool wheel. Now, one of the things that really bothered me about this part of the build, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely, I lost a piece. Ah, I found it. Found it. I keep knocking these spires off. This is like one of those things. It's like, why? Okay, so let me go ahead and take out this seance wheel. And I've got to go back and fix some of these. I had issues where some of the wires were being pulled, and the way that they gave the directions, I felt we could probably do better and fix it up a little bit more. Okay, so you got this cool specter here. Now this guy, let me see if I can get a better picture of him up above right here. We'll go ahead and fade. Look at that. So you got this cool specter there. You've got the whole wheel. Now, one of the problems I have is that this right here, in order for this to click into here, it'll only pull up about that far. It does not go, if you try to click it here, it basically just keeps popping off, and you can't stick it anywhere else. I was going to look, see if I had a clip left over, so I want to change this up just a little bit. But this doesn't click anywhere, and what it does is when you try to set this on the floor, that little knife bump causes the whole wheel to set up above the floor. It doesn't set in very well, and it puts pressure on the head of your little specter there. So that's something that I think for me, I'm going to end up changing some of that part of the build a little bit because I like what we're getting. I like the overall look of everything. I think it's an awesome build, but there are a few creative decisions on how certain things were made that just do not work out for me. So there's a few things I really do want to change. Overall, the seance room is really small. I don't think it's meant to be very big, but we do have a lot of room here, but they made it really small. They did, however, give us a spot, so if we really wanted to, we could open that up. And we need an overhead shot of that, don't we? Yeah, we could open that up, and you've got an empty space here that's actually on studded things. So you can hide your extra chips. You could hide some extra money in there. Technically, for me, it wouldn't be me hiding extra money. That would be me of hiding all the receipts that I have not turned in for my Lego expenditure. I'm putting them in here, so out of sight, out of mind, right? No, of course not. All right. And then, this actually goes back up in here to fill in the walls. So there's a few things you can do. Like this is supposed to sit with these blocks out up in here. I do feel like it goes a little too hard, so I turned it around. There's a few things that you can change here and there that make the build feel just a little bit more secure. All in all, this thing is a beauty. The how they did the windows with the wheel wells and the engine pieces, the arrows and the skis up top. The ghost over here is really nice, but one thing I don't like is I don't like the fact that it's just a block on the back, especially for us getting to see it. I would have liked to have seen them do just a little bit more, You can adjust out however you want. I think I have mine like just kind of going out of the top here, like woo, woo, and it's one of those you can play with and turn it however you want. It really, overall, a decent and cool build. There's a few things that I think that should have been changed and dealt with, but it's nice. You do have lights out here. You've got lights inside. Now, keep in mind, this one is not working. That's actually by design. It's on purpose. This is the only one that works. And these actually change out. So you can also have leaves and purple and lilac. And you can also change out some of the lights in this build to things that are like, red or orange or green. I went with the green for this because this is actually, and the same with the candle up top. You got green or orange. I went with the green on this because that's what the booklet suggested. I went with the orange up top because that's what the booklet suggested. And I kind of went with what the book suggested. I kind of went based on the pictures that we had, went based on the things that we had already. So that way it's not like I'm not looking at it, kind of figuring out what to do. It's like it's already set in motion. It's already done. I don't have to worry about anything else. Overall, I think this is a cool set. I initially got my set, so I bought my set off of Amazon. It was one of those that it was like a kind of a big sell at the time. Get our Ghostbuster car up there so we can see it. There we go. That's a little bit better. We don't have to see the top of the spire. We want to see the good stuff. So I initially bought my set on Amazon. It was one of those that was a special. This thing usually runs in at $129. Honestly, $129, this is still very, very much worth it. And with the holidays coming up, this could be a good gift for someone, especially someone who really likes, horror movies, Ghostbusters, things like that. I could definitely see this being an incredible build for someone that wants to spend the time to create a very nice masterpiece to show off, because this is a more of a masterpiece sort of build. It's model-esque. It has wires. It has lights. It has play function. Oh my. This thing is really, really cool, and it's chocked full of a ton of amazing details, which makes this thing stand out even more. I will go ahead and tell you it is big. It is the size of a base plate already just on the base floor, and it still goes out a little bit further than that. With the tree and the overhang, it actually goes a little bit further than what you would say is a 32 by 32 studs, which is about 10.8 inches by 10.8 inches. It goes out probably almost to about 10.5 inches squared up all the way around this. And that's not to mention the tree. I will probably be changing my tree up and make it a little bit more vertical instead of horizontal like that. The overall height of this thing is probably right around 17 to 18 inches, so it is tall. It's one of those, if you don't have the shelf space for it, you could easily knock off turrets, the chimney, all sorts of stuff. So it's definitely one of those, wherever you put it, you're going to want to make sure it's got plenty of headroom. As far as, weight, this thing is heavy. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's not the easiest thing to move around. I was going to put this out in our living room and take a look at it there, but honestly, I might have to wait because it is that heavy. Very heavy. All right, now, listen, if you decide that you really, really want to get this, and honestly, I would say if you're a Ghostbusters fan, check that mark off. If you like haunted houses, check that mark off. If you like building blocks, check that mark off. If you like lighting kits and building blocks, check that mark off. If you like modular builds, check that mark off. This pretty much has all the hallmarks of everything you'd want as an adult AFOL, or even if you're just a kid and you like this sort of stuff and you want to work with someone that's a little bit older. They say 16 up. I would suggest 16 up. Maybe at the youngest, maybe 12. Just because there is some wire work and some kind of interesting building techniques that, kind of work out of our realm of what we normally do. But it's a fun set. I definitely say pick it up. It's a fun set. I'll put my affiliate link down there in the description box, so that way you can go to the Lumibricks site. Even if you just click on it, if you don't purchase anything, but if you just click on it to go see what's available, see what's going on, it helps out the channel. All the clicks, all the referrals, it really helps out. If you decide to buy it, buy that referral link. Honestly, they have a program where they collect points. If you're spending $129, that's 129 points that you're adding in to a coupon for down the road. So it's definitely well worth the time. It's well worth the energy. It's well worth the money. This is one of those fun sets I would definitely say I think you should get. Now, that's all I got to say about the Lumibricks, not Funhole, not the old name. This is actually through Lumibricks and Lumibricks only. The Lumibricks Midnigt Haunted Mansion. I'll be reaching out to my affiliate people to see if there's anything we can do about adding some more sets kind of like this, but in smaller scale, because I think it's worth it. I really do. That's all I got to say about the Midnigt Haunted Mansion. Thank you all for showing up today. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting.